Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Celeste. As you remember, this is actually our second time playing this. And my, fifth or sixth time playing it. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. It's been a minute. I remember, random commentary. I remember when we very first played this, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even know what the genre was. And you just see this big, ominous music and this big, ominous mountain. It's like, oh my god. This is probably the last time I'll play this, yeah, all things considered. I strongly recommend playing Celeste for reasons I'll get into in a minute. This isn't actually a proper audit run because the last time we played Celeste was before the Oblivion line. This was baked into the 2D platformer block. And the 2D platformer block is something I forgot to say thank you to people this morning because we were just racing on with DuckTales Remastered. So I do want to say shoutouts and thank yous to Blade Taval, Don, Braglin, Churen, Cody, Krenzler, Deathrite Shaman, Doomrider, Dream Whisperer, DZ Maven, Ektklug, Irame, Family Guy, Finn, Frieza 2000, Fringe Philosopher, Hourglass, Geludo, Toho, Judo Joker, Justin T 1977, Kawibo, KM Thod, Lucas Slaughter, Monk Moddington, the Offshore Twitch account, Off the Deeper End, Pesnator, Reggie Brock, Sapacom, Scales of Justice, CDJ, Snake Eyes, Sturdy Reluctance, The Good Senator, Tiny Hippo, Tiny Shroom, Trafin, Valerian Wraithwall, Valvedrix, Vandalia, Vigilant, Zaloke, Ginger Ninja, Dark Day, Grand Spectre, the person who put these games on the list, Mr. Red, and our majority shareholder by 80%, which is Chill Pangolin. Thank you all of you very, very much for your support. If I'm going to do things like continue to eat and exist. So, we are obviously not doing all the content in this game because that would be insane. I also wanted to comment on one thing because one of the most common questions I get is how much of the super hard stuff are you doing? To which I say, not really any of it. Here's the thing. I wasn't even going to make a deal about it. But I've done all this before. I've done all the hard stuff. I have nothing to prove here. And this game has something absolutely awesome that is going to get many positives. Let's double check. Yep, no, we're good here. So we're going to go ahead and move down. 1,159 deaths the last time we played this. Now, you're probably looking at it and saying, that's not 100% safe. Yeah, it's on my Switch. That's when I really nuked this game. So we're going to do this. Yes, so we are going to be turning assist mode on, obviously. We could rename Madeline, but honestly, let's just leave her at this. This is it, Madeline. Just breathe. Oh, right. Trigger warning, panic attacks and anxiety. Why are you so nervous? Okay, yeah, so just to be very clear, this game has one of the most accurate and well-done visual and audio representations of a panic attack I've ever seen in a game, and is a general representation of anxiety. If you have any issues with both of that, this is a good time to bow out. This is actually a funny game to talk about if I could jump in super quick. I keep getting texted. Can't get away from it. It'll be pretty obvious. This is a fascinating game to see the behind the scenes of, and I'm not going to be able to do it proper justice right now. This was an example of a game that was made for a game jam by 2 people. And that 2 expanded to about 4 or 5, depending on how you count it. And they wanted to turn it into more of a game. They wanted a very, very, very simple core mechanic structure, which is jump, dash, and then cling to the wall. And that's kind of it. Like, that's your core mechanics. And they wanted to just expand upon that. But they also wanted the story to be relevant, which they didn't at first. Originally, the story was not a major part of this game, but it eventually grew and grew to become one of the major elements of the game. This is also a weird game because in many cases, the music was actually being done before level design. Let me walk that sentence back. Before brickwork was being done. Levels are being constructed, because levels can be constructed in a vacuum. You don't technically need visuals, brickwork, sprite work, all that fun visual storytelling stuff in order to make a level. But they started putting together music, and music started informing story started developing forward, blah, 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 blah. The other thing I wanted to comment on, though, is while this is an excellent game this is an excellent game, that's not what I meant, though. While this is an excellent example of a game in the indie space that succeeded, as we were talking about literally just this morning, the indie space is not perfect. And not every indie game that gets constructed actually manages to come out. As Earthblade, very unfortunately, can tell you about. For those of you who know, Earthblade was announced to be canceled. That was very recently. I'm looking at the date right here. Yeah, this January. Just this January, they announced that Earthblade had been canceled, which sucks. Let's just go ahead and be honest about that. So, it is not the magic I win button that a lot of us would like it to be. Although I'll still take the indie space over the AAA space. Okay, so my buttons are wrong immediately. Let me see if I can fix that. Hang on. That should be good. Let's see how that feels. So, the game starts off extremely simple. If you're paying attention, you'll notice we have some basic mechanics already, which is the ledge grab. Right there. God, it's hard to even show it off properly because it's so not intended to be a thing yet. This isn't even a tutorial screen yet. This is just a, here's the controls. If anything, if you've ever played Super Mario Bros. 1-1, this is the very, very first screen. We cannot go left, and it's just here to teach you, in a completely safe space, this is how the controls work. You can also do this. One of the features that this game does very, very right is minimal reset time. This is an insane thing that an enormous quantity of games fail at miserably. Now, this is a punishing platformer, so it makes sense to have a quick reset time in a game that is designed for you to fail at over and over and over and over again. But even despite that, one of the biggest frustrations of basically any game is when you fail at the boss, and then there's like a death animation. You fall to the ground, and someone's like, no! No, Leon, no! And then the screen slowly goes to black. And then it says, you're dead. And then it's like, and then the options pop up. Would you like to continue? And then yes, and it's like, okay, loading. Okay, now you can retry. I know that sounds like, I'm directly referencing Resident Evil, but I know this sounds like such a small thing, but this is a huge element of why this game is not frustrating. It could be. All you have to do to picture a game like this being frustrating is to picture going through this game and adding 10 seconds, just 10, to every death. I'll demonstrate what that feels like for a second. And then you restart. Every death. Picture that. I could keep going, but I think I've made my point. Yeah, those 10 seconds, that is the definition of seconds and minutes when there's those delays in restart time. Now, not every game necessarily needs a super fast turnaround time on resetting. But any game where you are likely to or inclined to die regularly, either because of difficulty or because of challenge or because of a specifically hard section or whatever, is a game that should really carefully think about how long it's going to take the player to get right back into the mode. Everybody knows what it's like to be on a super hard boss and super into the zone, and you die with 2 health left on the boss, and it's like, oh. And then you've got to go walk back to the boss, and then you've got to rebuff for the boss, and then you've got to get set up for it. And this time you're angry, so you're going to be playing worse because you just wasted all those minutes on that boss fight. And oh, you screwed up in phase 2. Ugh. And then you got to restart. Yeah, the salty run back is a very, very, very old concept going back to Mario Brothers 1. But add the delay of the load and the reset time to that, it just makes it worse. Yes, it was version of it. Now, yes, the sprite work is obviously fantastic. The music is obviously excellent. Water is wet. Look, I've gotten the golden striper in this game. What? What do you want from me? Okay, so yeah, this first screen is absolutely gorgeous looking. We've got a nice contrast between foreground and background. That's actually important. And one of the reasons why, this is actually I have a term for this. I call it visual distinction. Yeah, and it takes him a few months, kid fan. I don't have months to play one Mega Man game. I wish I did. It'd be great. Visual distinction. Everybody looking at this can immediately tell what you can interact with and what you can't, just at a glance. There's a very clear foreground layer and a very clear background layer. Different palette, different distinction, different outlines. A lot of the foreground is outlined. The pixel work on the front stuff is very crisp and sharp. The pixel stuff on the background is very subdued and muted. So you see, like, I'll use a specific example. Boop. Right here, this platform I'm on continues up behind me, up into this one that's above me. But the one that's behind me is so pushed into the background you can barely even tell it's there unless you're actually specifically calling up to glance at it. Visual distinction. So, basic tutorials. This is one of the 2 major mechanics of the game. Hang on, I need to make sure all this is off. Okay, cool. And then before we even get to actual platforming, one of the first things we have is a cutscene. Excuse me, ma'am? The sign out front is busted. Is this the mountain trail? You're almost there. It's just across the bridge. By the way, you should call someone about your driveway. The ridge collapsed and I nearly died. If my driveway almost did you in, the mountain might be a bit much for you. Well, if an old bat like you can survive out here, I think I'll be fine. Suit yourself. You should know Celeste Mountain's a strange place. You might see things. Things you ain't ready to see. You should seek help, lady. One of my favorite little animation details is the laughter wafting in on the left side of the screen there. So yeah, so we're dead. Or magic. I don't know. The game is extremely vague about it. Based on what we know now after the game has come out, it's probable that none of the events of this game actually happen, which is a shame because I prefer the thought that they do. You know me. I'm a boring literalist. Okay. So notice exactly where it freezes us. can do this. So, first actual stage, the city ruins. It's always ruins. Can't get away from ruins, I swear. Spikes are insta-kill. I have to re-get used to the controls. It's been a minute. Oof, okay, hang on. Actually, I have a weird thought. Let's try that. So I rebound the hell out of this last time I played it, so forgive me. This is a rough game. I need the control boundings to be something I actually like. Let's try that. We'll try that for a bit, see how that feels. So, first real screen. Let's rewind here. I could just rewind like this, check it out. Easy rewind. So, jump, basic climb, and make that without needing to do anything else. And yes, I've gotten all the stars. I've gotten the golden star, but I don't know what you want from them. So you can actually beat this entire first stage without using the dash. Let me tell you, that is a hell of a thing to do. That's how you get the golden strawberry. Dash refills on going to the ground. Hair color denotes it. Blue hair means you're out of dash. Red hair means you have a dash. Well, I was going to show off something, and then I missed my jump by like 5 pixels. Sorry. Let's try that again. Well, what I was trying to show off there, Jesus Lord. So we got the strawberry, right? Getting the strawberry counts even if you die. That is I know that sounds like such a minor thing, but you can get a strawberry and accept a death in the action of getting the strawberry if you really need to. However, if you're paying attention, in order to actually collect the strawberry, you still need to land. So I couldn't get the strawberry down there. I had to get back up here and then land somewhere safe. And the game is absolutely designed around that concept. So, momentum exists. That's actually, as weird as that sounds, that was another tutorial moment there. This doesn't work. So notice how it's on wings. With dash, it'll run off. It's this or Cyber Shadow. I'll just go up. So there's a limit to how far you can climb, as you saw just there. And this is something Rax actually talked about earlier. The resets are per screen. So that thing we just learned in the previous stage, or the previous screen, excuse me, can immediately be applicable there. God, I'm going through this too quickly. I apologize. Don Crow's getting in my head. There's already some excellent escalation going on here, is what I'm trying to get across. We go from a screen where you have to just jump, to a screen where it's intended to dash, to a screen where you're rewarded for doing a diagonal dash, to a screen where you're taught how momentum works, to a screen where you have to use how momentum works, to a screen where you have to start combining your dashes with your wall climbs in order to be able to do things like grab the ledge like that. Stuff like that. And then we have this nonsense. So that doesn't work. Oh, that's strange. Let's try a diagonal one. So the green refills your dash. Just going through it is enough. Also, there's a gotcha trap right there. Because of course there is. By the way, some of the people who play this game are absolutely stupid good at it. There's actually some hidden mechanics in this game that the game will basically never tutorialize for you that are considered mandatory for the B and C slide stuff. Side stuff. Oh there, fellow traveler. Oh. Hi. What a killer night for a hike. I guess so. Excuse me. This place is so crazy. I kind of can't believe it exists. Not the easiest climb, is it? But I guess that's what I was looking for. Oh, that sounds pretty serious. I'm just happy to see another human in such a lonely place. I'm Theo, by the way, an adventurer from a far-off land. Not much of a talker, are you? Mysterious lone wolf type. I get it. I'll just imagine some dark backstory for you. Hey, sorry, I'm Madeline. Out of my mind. Well, Madeline, I'd say you've come to the right place. I'm freezing my toes off, but I can't imagine a better place for some quiet reflection. Yeah, maybe you're right. What far-off land do you hail from? Well, my inquisitive compatriot, I hail from the mystical, exotic kingdom of Seattle. Can confirm. Sounds like a special place. This place is wild. Why would an entire city be abandoned? I heard that some mega corporation started building it, but then nobody wanted to live here. Wonder why. My money's on a government cover-up. What a waste. Build all this for no real reason. At least we get to enjoy the leftovers. You here to explore the city? Yeah, I have a thing for abandoned places. I like to think of myself as a budding photographer. Oh, really? Cool. Do you have a blog or something? A blog? Madeline. Everyone uses Instapics now. I'm Theo Understars. Look me up. This train's pretty tricky. You turning back soon? Nope. I'm headed for the summit. I can really see the determination in your eyes. It's inspiring. You say so. I bet you can make it to the summit too. Maybe. I don't really care about reaching the top, TBH. Oh, but I heard there's some legit old ruins beyond the city. Like 1800s legit. I know it's risky, but I have to see them for myself. What's that thing you say right before you do something irresponsible? Throw caution to the wind? No, that's not it. Oh, right. YOLO! Okay. Hello, Zara. And hello all the people I didn't say hello to earlier because, you know, I was busy being dumb and texting. Oh no, yeah, we're all dead. We're totally dead. It's not just a watch, it's a symbol. I suppose I should really show it off. Or is it only the other? It's only one way. Yeah, whatever. So this screen right here is, in my opinion, the first actual tutorial screen of the game. It's not super bad, like it's not super difficult, it's not super tight, but it's a good example of what the game expects from you pretty much from now on. Bounce, dash, climb, climb, done. In other words, you have to take the mechanics you're given, of which there's not that many, and you have to figure out exactly how to interweave them. And that's the puzzle aspect of the game, for lack of a better way to put that. How do you get from point A to point B? Thank you, Vigilant, for the donation. Always appreciate. 7 months? Jesus Christ. I know that feeling. This music was made by Lena Raine. You should buy her soundtrack. I did. We were actually listening to it earlier. I bought the hell out of that. Like the day after I finished streaming this game, I bought the soundtrack. She's on Bandcamp. Lena space Raine. Give me a moment. I need to get some thoughts down. Because this is a weird game just to review. Because levels don't apply here in the same way that they normally do to a platformer. Because honestly, you could call each screen a micro level, and that's the point. And there are a couple of screens that which probably deserve their own positives, or possibly negatives. Some screens in this game are really frustrating. I'll never forget this. I was going through a particular stage, and Mike showed up from Resident Arc back when he actually used to watch me. And he showed up, and I was having a hell of a time with one particular section of a stage, of a screen. And he asked if that was a negative, to which I immediately responded, no, of course not. This is extremely well designed. It's just very frustrating. And I'd like to think that that answer surprised him at least a little bit. Just, ego boost kind of thing. I'm sorry, I was just flabbergasted by the poster back there. Are you beach ready? I've never even heard of it. Just Drop 2D. Whoa. Hang on, let's reset. Note to self, don't casually look away from the screen while playing this game. Poster did its job. You know what? Can't argue. Like I said, I prefer to think the events in the game are real. That's just the way I think, in general. I shouldn't have gone for that. Nobody cares about the strawberries. However, the strawberries, as you can already see, are already serving their purpose. The creators of this game specifically cite games like all of these wonderful games I don't remember the name of as their inspiration for this. Hang on. There we go. Donkey Kong Country 2, Metroid the original, Kiro Blaster, and Super Mario Bros. 3. Allow me to, however, say that the game that I am most reminded of when it comes to this game is actually Yoshi's Island. A lot of people forget that Yoshi's Island was A, an incredibly well-built game, but B, and most importantly, had a natural and dynamic difficulty built into the game. Because the difficulty was, how many of the optional things do you go get? Stages or screens that are absolutely insane, if you get everything, are actually relatively easy if you don't. And having that automatic thing of go get all the strawberries, for example, is a nice additional mutator on top of everything else. So I'm not going to go for all the strawberries. I just want to comment on that. Because, you know, obviously it's going to come up. I say as I immediately go for a strawberry. I can make that. I can make that. Flex. You've beaten this game before. Turbo hard. Just stop, just stop, just stop, just stop. You see how it's still tutorializing? A very Mario World in that sense too. Also, our sprite is wonderfully bouncy. This is also a good example of what I'm going to call Nintendo quality of platforming, which is one of the ways I think this game is superior to Cyber Shadow, the aforementioned Cyber Shadow, because Nintendo does something a lot. There's a lot of different terms for it, a lot of different concepts, styles, etc. But it all boils down to making it so that the game is interpreting what you're doing and trying to get it to do what it thinks you want it to do, right? I've talked about this before. A game that is literally programmed is actually really frustrating to play. The example I always like to go to is if you have a staircase that is meshed as a staircase in the game, and you walk into it, what you will do is you will walk into a brick wall, because your movement model has collided with an object model, and the collision has stopped you, so you just run into the wall like that of the staircase. I'm sure you've actually seen that in some games. It's a very minor and dumb and easy to avoid example, but it's a good example of what I mean. Literally programmed games tend to suck. So, what we've developed over the years, and this goes all the way back to the NES era, is lots and lots of ways to try and interpret exactly how the player moves through the game in order to try and guesstimate what they're doing. Now, this is its own separate skill and skill set, right? The example I always like to use for doing this really badly is the Assassin's Creed series, which will be like, oh, I think you're trying to leap off the window right now. Woo! No, I was trying to go up, thanks game. But a lot of Nintendo titles tend to be the kings of this, especially when we got to the late SNES era, and then Reset, and then again at like the late GameCube era. Because there's the ability to grab or jump off a wall, even though you're not actually next to the wall. There's the ability to jump just a little bit after you've gone off of a ledge. There's the ability to kind of nudge around certain collisions, especially around the sharper edges, even though you actually should bump into it. It's that whole interpretive layer is what I call it. I don't actually know what it's properly called. But that interpretive layer is very, 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 very necessary for pretty much any platformer, in my opinion. I've never encountered a platformer I would actually say doesn't have an interpretive layer and isn't, frustrating as hell to play. Point in fact, I just mentioned a bunch of NES games for when they kind of figured this stuff out. A lot of NES games didn't have that interpretive layer, and lo and behold, they kind of sucked. What do you mean, Chill Pangolin? Oh, come on! My momentum should have been cancelled by then. I'm actually not familiar enough with Dark Souls to answer that, but I'm gonna assume yes. So one other thing about this, which is actually arguably good, you notice it resets the state of the screen every time you reset, which is good. Once again, I know that sounds like an obvious thing. I know it sounds like a duh. I have known games, especially punishing platformers, which didn't. Most of those games, at least if they're well designed, usually have a reset button because you can build yourself into a corner. It still doesn't work. I want to put both grip and dash on the same button, and that's kind of the problem I'm running into. Pretty much Lord Harriman. You'll also notice that each screen is rather short, comparatively speaking. Even at the absolutely sluggish pace I'm going at, each screen is like 30 seconds. This memorial dedicated to those who perished on the climb. Ugh, I'm exhausted. This might have been a mistake. Falling in the sleep this low. That'll be great. You've got to be kidding me. I don't have time for... I'll be right back. I have to make a phone call. Okay, so now that we're dead, forgive me. Oh my gosh. Now that I can get my headphones back, good lord. Okay. So that was a very, very good chapter. I know some people who dislike the fact that that chapter is so easy compared to later chapters. I kind of get where they're coming from, but honestly, I feel like that's a little bit dismissive. It's very much a tutorial stage. The whole stage is a tutorial. It's very Mario World. Each screen is there to teach you just a little bit more on how you're supposed to be playing the game and what the game expects of you. I also like how there's an indicator of how many strawberries you missed. So we can go back here and see, I'm missing 12 strawberries from there. And we died 27 times showing stuff off. Stage 2. Old site. Strawberries will impress your friends, but that's about it. Only collect them if you really want to. Again, it's there for optional difficulty. It does extremely minorly change the ending, but that's it. Well, I'm having trouble reading it. Can you guys make this out? Welcome to Inside, I think is what that says. Oh well. Back up. I do not, Dream Whisperer. I haven't done my 100% playthrough this in a while. It was years ago. It was on the Switch. And the controls feel a little bit weird. Yeah, and it's not like any of the strawberries are really hidden. It's do the screens in a certain way and then go to all the optional screens. That's kind of it. So far, nothing to this stage. That's kind of weird. Oh well. I wouldn't worry about it. I would like spike screens, because this is nothing compared to what is eventually going to be a thing. Sure. Music changes to indicate that something's up. I don't know where Battling went, but now we can do that. Let's do it at an angle, like that. Oh man, golden strawberries. Oh. That's a thing. Oh, I had that too. The momentum. Don't know why I keep going for strawberries. I just stop going for strawberries. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You notice we're starting to get a little bit of puzzliness too, as opposed to just straight platforming. Oh, wait, no, not right yet. When we're doing the audit, I'm going to show you a task of this game. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just a strawberry. Just a strawberry. Whoop, 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 whoop. But I hit the ground. Apparently not. Madeline, darling, slow down. Who said that? Oh, I'm simply a concerned observer. Are you... me? I'm part of you. Why would part of me look so creepy? This is just what it looked like, okay? Deal with it. Sorry, I didn't mean... Forget about it. I can't tell you what relief it is to finally get out of your head. Look, I'm worried about us. We need a hobby, but this... I know it sounds crazy, but I need to climb this mountain. You are many things, darling, but you're not a mountain climber. Who says I can't be? I know it's not your strong suit, but be reasonable for once. You have no idea what you're getting into. You can't handle this. That is exactly why I need to do this. Are you the weak part of me or the lazy part? I'm the pragmatic part. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. Let's go home together. So, I don't know if Nintendo actually invented this, but that's where I saw it popularized. It's the Shadow Mario clone concept. Madeline back there emulates your movement right behind you, so you have a fairly large amount of control over how she operates. Because she shadows you, right? But if she touches you, you die. Still don't actually feel like I've got the controls where I want them to be. cause problems, because, you know, these are the easy levels. Oh, shoot. Ah. And now there's multiple of them. You can see how they start to get mean, and once again, that theme of escalation is on display here. It's also a hand-hurty game, so I'm kind of glad we probably won't finish it today. We're up to 4 now. Long screen. I don't think I actually have a favorite genre. Platformers are my bag. I've been playing them since I was a kid. But then again, same thing with most strategy games too. And RPGs, of course. So RPGs, strategy games, platformers. Of course I did it for best the first time I go through it. Of course I do. I'm not sure I actually have a real favorite. I've studied the hell out of platformers, of course, but like that's true for a lot of genres of games. Run away! This is a fun one. Remember what I said? You have to land in order to collect the strawberry, so you have to get all the way up and then all the way down to collect that strawberry. Then this happens. 1 second, please. Hey, woo. Or ooh, I guess I should say. Of course the phone's ringing as soon as we approach it. That makes the least possible amount of sense. Hello? Madeline? You calling from a payphone? Yeah. No, wait, you called me. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter. I'm in trouble. I'm being chased by someone. I don't really understand what's going on, but I know I'm in danger. I can feel it. Madeline, you only call when you're panicking in the middle of the night. You don't have to make up some ridiculous story just to get my attention. I'm not making it up. You always do this. Shh. It's alright. Calm down. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Talk to me. I'm climbing Celeste Mountain. I found this old mirror and it shattered, but part of me escaped and... I'm dreaming, aren't I? Madeline, of course you're dreaming. I haven't spoken to you in months. Why'd I start now? Why am I even climbing this stupid mountain? I'm wondering the same thing. It's time to give up and go home. It was all just a dream. See, because you can't read in a dream state. That's pretty much the big indicator there. Anyways, yeah, we're dead. Roll credits. Hey, Madeline, you made it. Climbing up here was tough, but totally worth it. Just look at these runs. I took so many great pics. You want to see? Oh, sure. Yeah, these are great. Maybe I'll finally hit 1,000 followers with these. As a question, how many followers does he have on Instagram in real life? I'm just curious. Oh, we need to formally commemorate the occasion. Take a selfie with me. I don't know if that's such a good idea right now. Come on, it's easy. Like this. Look at her expression. Sorry about that. Don't worry, I won't post that one. No, it's alright. You can post it. I'm just not photogenic. Madeline, don't be so hard on yourself. No one looks good without a filter. Oh, that looks so much worse. Oh, I hate filters. I hate filters. Casual, yet refined. What made you want to try photography? My grandpa was really into it. Apparently he was semi-famous in the photography world. I don't know if I'll ever be that good at it, but it's nice to feel close to him. So you're determined to climb the entire mountain? Yeah. Told myself I would. I'm done breaking promises to myself. Life goals. I dig it. I doubt I'll make it to the top like you, but I'm not ready to turn back just yet. You getting any data up here? I don't have a smartphone. Madeline. I don't even know how to respond to that. Don't you guys have phones? This is the area that was like total Dreamscape-y thing. As you can see, it's a little different without the dream bubbles. He is from the terrifying place known as... Oh, come on, I was just getting up there. As Seattle. Okay, so... Aw. Okay, one more try, and then I'll stop doing this. I know I've said that 5 times, but this time, by golly, I really mean it. Alright. No. There we go. more going for strawberries. Stop it. Bad, Laura. Bad. You have all the strawberries. Hello? Hey, Mom. Madeline, what a nice surprise. How's your trip? It's okay, I'm just kind of overwhelmed. Oh no, are you having another panic attack? Focus on your breathing, honey. I'm here. What's going on? I like how she calls her mom. And she's dead. Every chapter ends with us dying. So we're still in tutorial land. I know several people who've reached this stage, and this is when they turn around or turn on the cheats or whatever. Also, timer, whether or not you've completed it, whether or not you've gotten golden strawberry, how many strawberries you've gotten, how many deaths you have, etc., etc., etc. Clears, full clears, fewest deaths, crystal hearts, which we haven't even gotten yet, and global Steam stats, which is always nice. We're up to 12 billion deaths. We've all actually, excuse me, I think we've wiped out the planet Earth by now. Be proud of your death count. The more you die, the more you're learning. So, immediately on approach, we see one of our new things. Notice it's very hard. You actually have to go out of your way to run into it, but if you do, it's instant death. So, they're spikes. But the difference between these things and spikes, and this is actually something not a lot of people consider when it comes to platforming, spikes, by their very nature, line something when it comes to spikes as a design element, right? All spikes really mean is don't land here. Don't step here, don't hit this wall, don't hit this ceiling, right? It's a no-touch zone. When you have something like this, this means you can shape the spike area. Some games do this with lava, for example. Some games do it with electricity. This game does it with, we'll call that anxiety. So these anxiety blobs of cancerous charcoal are just whole painted areas of no touch. And they do some interesting stuff with this. Oh, also they can move. That'd be funny. First time we ever had a protagonist who decides to dye their hair to not be blue. Madeline was originally in a JRPG, and, well, here we are. Please ring for service. Very old and dusty guest book. Many of the pages are damaged or missing. Comments are glowing. We'll never forget our time here. I've never felt more at peace. Thank you. Huh. Welcome. May I help you? Are you a ghost? A ghost? Don't be silly. He's a ghost. I am the concierge of this fine establishment. You may call me Luigi, and this is my mansion. Welcome to the world-renowned Celestial... I like my version. Celestial Resort Hotel. Mr. Oshiro at your service. 2 guests in one day. Business is finally picking up. How long will you be staying with us? Oh, I'm just passing through. I'm climbing the mountain. Do you have a back exit? A back exit? Just passing through. Well, this will I do. You know I can still hear you, right? In any case, our rear service door is reserved for hotel staff only. However, our top floor presidential suite features a world-class view of the peak. Yes, you'll be quite comfortable up there. Maybe I can get on the roof from there and climb down the back? The presidential suite. Marvelous idea, Oshiro. What is your name for our records? Madeline. But again, I'm really not interested in staying. Right this way, Ms. Madeline. Do you have a slightly less terrifying route I could take? No? Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Notice how each of those steps was actually an escalation of a previous step, by the way. I swear this game lives and breathes escalation. Which is good. That's a good question, Chill Penguin. Frankly, I don't think you can. I mean, it's his anxiety, right? So, this is getting even more granular. I love this. Check this out. It's safe until you're on it for a second, and then the anxiety grows. Once it's there, it doesn't go away. Because why would it? Please follow me close, Miss Madeline. The elevator's just down the hall. Hotel's in pretty rough shape. Is it really open for business? Of course we're open. The Celestial Road Hotel will never close during prime tourism season. Oh, shit, what's she mean by that? Oh, please allow me to carry your luggage. My bag? No thanks, I'll keep it. Very well. What a peculiar guest. Yeah, no, so he is a ghost. Sorry, of course he's a ghost. Let me try that sentence again. In fiction, we've gotten really granular with what we can have with regards to dead and undead. But the more, I hate to use the word traditional, but like the more core concept of a ghost is it's not actually a person, right? It may be a vestige of a person, it may be an anchor for a person, but that's not actually the person themselves. It's some bit of them left over, an echo or an anchor, like I said earlier, which is keeping the soul here because of some kind of thing, usually a fixation or an obsession on a specific thing. Maybe getting revenge, maybe keeping a room empty, maybe trying to make sure someone's always here, etc. Yeah, it's more two-dimensional than a full person. I mentioned this because this guy is clearly a ghost. He is fixated on being the concierge, so as much as he can talk and interact and chat, it's very clear that he is not functionally there. I don't mean he's insane. I mean he's literally not fully there. He does not have the ability to process. So, thus, in answer to the anxiety blobs around. Oh my god. In answer to what Chill Pangolin mentioned in chat just a minute ago, I literally don't think he can see how much of a mess the hotel has gotten into because that's not part of his perception, right? There's this filter over everything he sees and does and acts because he can't see that because he's not a person anymore, at least not in the strictest sense of the word. Now, the specifics of that can vary from setting to setting, and I have no idea of the world building of Celeste. I thought I could make that. I mean, I could have made that, but you can do some absolute bonkers stuff in this game. It's just mean game. Just to prove I could. I know I said I wouldn't, but I wanted to prove it to myself really quick. 4 that I know of, the narrative. As always with these kind of tiny projects, occasionally there's someone who does like a little bit of something, which doesn't always get into the credits, but it's 4 people primarily. I don't know any of their names, but it's what's her face, what's his face, what's his face, and what's her face. I'm great with names. Give me a second. Hang on. I know Lena Raine. I know that's the musician. That's the composer. Maddie Thorson is what's her face. Noel Berry is what's his face. Apparently there are actually several other people involved. Pedro Medeiros, he's the primary pixel artist, along with Gabby D'Arienzo and Amora Bettany, who also worked on sprite work. There you go. Oh, they absolutely did not. 100% Elizabeth. We actually have a very large breadth of interviews and information from the developers of this game. Somewhat unusually for the indie space. Because they've been at a lot of jams, a lot of conventions, and they've answered a whole lot of questions from a whole lot of people about, you know, this Smash game that was a huge hit. One of the first deaths that's actually surprised me. Like asking Toby Fox, did he think Undertale would explode the way it did, right? Or asking, I can't remember his name, who made Stardew Valley, he thought that would explode. Or the developers of Valheim, that's another good example. Not quite a gotcha. Kind of a gotcha? Timing is way off there. You're gonna be seeing me die a lot, by the way. I know that's what you guys really want out of my streams, so I am, as ever, your dancing monkey. Speedruns of this game are absolutely stupid. Like I said, I'm going to show you a task. Just one task, there are several. Miss Madeline, I really must implore you to keep up. I'm running a world-class establishment here. I don't have time to wait around for meandering guests. You really don't have to wait for me. I'm just looking for a way through this place. I'll show you, irritate the customers. Oh, it's right. Business is finally picking up and you lose your temper. Oh yeah, he also has a temper issue too. We'll see that later. Yeah, world record is under 25 freaking minutes, which is absolutely insane. My sincere apologies, I was out of line. Please, feel free to explore at your leisure. So maybe do more of your laundry, buddy. Like, the laundry's just piling up here. Look at this. It's like living with one of my old roommates again. I can't even get through. There's so much laundry. Yeah, Celeste is a very common entry into GDQs as a regular. Strawberry percent, any percent, just doing the Christmas thing, just doing the crystal hearts. Honestly, I think this is actually worse than Allison's room. That is saying something. It's also flooding. Of course it is. Attention hotel staff. It's my sad duty to inform you the Celestial Hotel will close indefinitely following the season due to circumstances beyond our control. It was an honor to have served alongside you all as we work tirelessly to ensure that our guests enjoy the most hospitable and memorable experience possible. I write this with a heavy heart. This hotel has become my home. Its staff and patrons my family. I will miss you all dearly. Mr. Olsher. So, how many of you know what Game Jam is? I actually know people who have been to Game Jam. For those of you not aware, Game Jam is, it's actually a fairly regular event. There's several of them throughout the world. And the idea is you go to one and you spend a few days making a game. It's supposed to be a way to try and just get the creative juices flowing, get some collaborative work going on, and honestly just as kind of a celebration of game design in general. I mentioned this at the beginning, but the game you're looking at right now is kind of what this game originally started as. Pico 18 or something like that. I forget what they called it, but you get the idea. Jeez. Didn't think I'd actually make that jump. I screwed myself over. This is it. Honestly, though, for a Game Jam game, this is actually pretty impressive. What? You haven't played Celeste before, Maverick? Come on, man. Whoops. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and exit now. Now playable from the menu. No, don't. Ah, no, I was trying to jump. Let me in. Okay. This clutter's out of control. How did this happen? I actually already picked that up myself and plugged it on my channel and on my Discord tracks, yeah. And I recommend anyone else do that if they feel like to. If for no other reason as a middle finger to that kind of censorship. I don't even know where to begin. Mr. Osher, do you run this whole place by yourself? You're right, Miss Madeline. I'll never sort this mess out alone. It's hopeless. That's not what I meant. Just breathe, Mr. Osher, breathe. It's a little spring cleaning. Well, more a little. But I can help. You're too kind, but I wouldn't even bother. It's a lost cause. Top to bottom, shall we? So the first world was all tutorial-y platforminess. The second world is more puzzle-focused, and then followed by the shadow of things. The third world is all about escalation of themes across different branching paths. Oh, bull crap. I suppose I should mention, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about platformers before, a theme in a video game, especially a platformer game, is actually a very specific concept. It's not like what you normally think of when you think of the word theme. For example, Ratchet & Clank 2 is actually already funded, Don, if you want to put that towards something else. A theme in a video game sense is, for example, there's stuff on the walls that grows that you have to dodge or avoid, right? That's a theme. Basic platforming could be a thing. Rotating platforms could be a theme. That kind of a thing. Skiller's choice. You got it. So, Deathloop. Make sure you vote if you haven't. Anybody who feels like it. And Ratchet Clank 3, which I think is up your arsenal. I think. Perfect, Lord Hermon. We're doing good. I love that animation. Music escalates because we've completed one portion of the central room, and now those particular paths are now unblocked. Next. Oh, hang on, we're supposed to talk to him, I think. Oh, where is he? Gee, yeah, that's what reminded me, Don. I figured you would go for that one. I haven't even begun cleaning and already feel a renewed lightness of spirit. That's the power of positive thinking. Actually, I cleared out some of the clutter for you. Oh, yes. Thank you, Miss Madeline. Please, relax. Let the hotel staff handle it. Oh, sure, you fool. You're losing her. Guests don't want to spend their time cleaning. Are you okay? Yes, of course. This is the finest hotel you'll ever visit. You'll see. How can I let my problems pile up like this? Freaking out. Remember that the poll is multiple choice. I'm saying that wrong. You could vote for all of the options or only one of them, or anything in between. You are not limited to just one pick, so please remember that. Theo! Are you a guest here too? Madeline, I am so happy to see you right now. I'm all about spooky mysteries, but this is getting too real. Have you talked to Mr. Oshiro? I think he could really use some help. You think? He's a creepy old weirdo. I bet he's cleaning out a nook to hide our bodies as we speak. I'm gonna crawl through this vent. It's blowing cold air from outside. Come on. Mr. Oshiro's troubled, but I don't think he wants to hurt us. He just needs to clean up his mess. I want to help him. Madeline, that's very sweet, but this is dangerous. We need to get out of here. Call an expert on creepy old dudes. Never prepared for this. I think I can get through to him. Go on ahead, I'll catch up with you later. Man, you're more stubborn than my sister. I thought that was impossible. Take care of yourself. Thanks, Theo. I'll see you outside. I can't wait for the part of the level where I have to carry your ass. Good, Lord Hermon. That means you've spread the vote more, which is exactly what I want. Close votes are good votes. Real life, too. Not just for video games. Because we all know video games don't count as real life, right? Hey, buddy, 1 second, please. Really, Loke? Okay. Let's say that I put together a vote. What's the best movie ever made? Birdemic or the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Now, which one do you think would win that? And thank you for the sub, bunny. The sub bunny? That sounds like it's a sub that's a bunny, but thank you very much for the sub. If you want to put the threads up to 3 things, please let me know. That's why I put the genre there, remember? Because I know not a lot of people know about as many games as I do. When you make games your job, I've been reviewing since 2012, so 13 years now. Jeez. You got it, buddy. Thank you again. I'll put it towards dealer's choice. Yeah, a lot of the games I'm reviewing have come out since after I started reviewing, which makes me feel old. Anyways, the reason I bring that up is because that's not a close vote. And at that point, why even bother? What's the point of a vote when you already know what the result's going to be walking into it? The whole point of a vote, the fundamental philosophical concept of a vote is to pick something. If that's sort of predetermined, then what's the point? Does that make sense, Luke? I could go more in depth into that. For example, let's say in the political sphere, if there's a particular vote between these 4 different, I can't remember what the term is, ministers, who all are going to represent this particular province or whatever. If one of them is winning by a landslide, either something's wrong, or the others aren't doing their freaking job and actually making it a close vote. Or miraculously, they are doing their job. Interesting, Lord Irma. Did she like it? Well, that's why I admit that there's some asterisk here. For example, you have to vote between Hitler and a cat to run the country. That should probably be a close vote. But if that's the vote, then whoever's setting up the vote has not done their job properly. Which is why I say that the vote should probably be pretty close here. Because if I've done my job properly to set up the games on the poll, then, then it should be a close vote. And if it isn't, then I have not done my job properly. It's looking a lot nicer in here. Can you show me to the exit now? But Miss Madeline, you've barely enjoyed the myriad luxuries our hotel has to offer. We can talk more once I finish the cleaning. I'm very busy. Yeah, young people have no respect these days. You're welcome. Dead guy. Try not to be rude, but seriously. I mean, I agree with you, Lenareth, but that doesn't change anything about what I'm saying at all. Oh, that was actually close. Completely screwed that jump up. So, I didn't think I was going to make that, which is why I stopped trying there. I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know why. I always have trouble with timing platforming. It's like the only type of platforming I really have issues with. I mean, I suck at video games in general, obviously, but I mean, like, it just doesn't quite fit in my brain for whatever reason. I apologize for not having my usual amount of commentary here. Believe it or not, this takes a fairly decent amount of my concentration. Wait until we get to the later levels. I love this game to death, though. It is a very rare example of what I call an actually hard game. Most games that are difficult aren't, in my experience. This is a difficult game. There you are. You certainly have a knack for wandering off. It was tough, but I sorted everything out for you. The Celestial Resort extends its gratitude for your assistance, Miss Madeline. Of course, the staff had the mess under control. Ah, sure. Yeah. How humiliating. You must be eager to see your room. It's just up the elevator down the hall. Sure, what the heck. Show me the presidential suite. It sounds lovely. That's your last chance, Shoshiro. Don't lose her now. Actually, yes, Smoke, I do. Some games... Dark Souls is kind of its own category and varies based on the game and the boss, but in my experience, the most common, by a wide margin, type of artificial difficulty that people like to use is time-consuming. This boss is super hard. It's got 1,000,000 health. This level is super difficult. You have to retry it 50,000 times. This particular drop is really hard to get because it has a 0.01% chance drop, etc., etc., etc. Right? A lot of people, a lot of developers, going as far back as the NES era, like to equate difficulty with time consumption. Now you get why. There's a logical connection point there. Something that is actually difficult takes time to master, to practice, and get better at. But the problem is some people skip over that difficulty part and just skip right over to the time-consuming part. And so they go from here to here instead of like this. This is the worst visual analogy I've ever given. So they just make things boring, and that's just boring. When you have a boss fight that's like, oh, I have 7 million billion trillion health. You're just sitting there like, okay, wake me when it's done. Man, it's amazing here. How's it going with El Creepo? I helped him clean that huge mess, but he was kind of a jerk about it. He still thinks he can convince me to stay. Madeline, seriously. My bad idea radar is off the charts on this one. You should get out of here. If I disappear now, Mr. Oshiro could have a meltdown. And maybe I can actually do something good. For once. Forget your karma, dude. I think that guy's gonna melt down no matter what. You have to think about your safety. Theo, I'll be okay. Yeah, I didn't expect you to listen. See you on the outside, jailbird. See you around, Theo. Really, Ross? Is it that wonderful Brazilian thing I heard about? Whoa, bad angle. Yeah, I think I've told you, well, I don't know if I've told you, but me and my friends, starting with Gary, have this concept called means to an ends. That actually came up during the I apparently can't talk into the screen. That came up during the Tears of the Kingdom stream. The reason we didn't throw up the cheat flag for the Tears of the Kingdom stream is the only thing we cheated on was grinding. Just straight grinding, running in a circle, right? Means to an ends. Tack on some time. Move on. Yeah, I would have gotten to the exact same point. There was no skill or difficulty involved. It was just a time waster. So, nice little bit of visual storytelling here. The anxiety lint is getting so overwhelming. If you look at the screen, look at how little of the screen is not covered by the lint. It's getting overwhelming, right? And if you've been paying attention throughout the whole stage, that's been a recurring trend. More and more and more and more of this lint. I should mention I call it the anxiety thing. I don't actually know what the proper term is for this stuff. I should jot down some visual positives. I'll do it in a second. This is it, Oshiro. Your last chance. You already ruined it. Making a guest clean up your mess. She'll never stay. No, she's still here. There's still a chance. The presidential suite is the key. It will surely impress her. Yeah, sure thing, Gollum. Get it together, Oshiro. So, yeah. There you are, Miss Madeline. Follow me quickly. We're almost there. Well, I would, but... Oh, you son of a... I was doing that just to be cheeky. I didn't realize it would spawn me back here. Not personally, no, Pillars of Snow. Back. I mean, that boils down to that not being grinding, which we've talked about a few bajillion times. If you enjoy it, by definition, it is not grind. That's what grind means. Grind means a repetitive task you do not enjoy. I should have gone for it. I should have gone for it. Whoops. Is that a universal definition? I don't think any of my definitions are universal, so I'm going to go with a fairly... I thought I failed that jump. Fairly static no to that linear Earth. No. I suppose I should show this off at least. Okay. That was actually a misclick. I didn't mean to do that. Fun fact, one of the designers actually used a lot of their Mario Maker level concepts in this game, and honestly, you can kind of tell. Especially if you ever played any of the bonkers Mario Maker levels, which, you know, if you're playing this game, there's a decent chance you are on that list. We'll show that off in a minute. Final entry is decades old. As of today, the hotel is officially closed. Charlotte organized the staff for a farewell hike up the mountain. Most of us had never seen the summit. It seemed like a fitting goodbye, but the time came I couldn't bear to leave without looking around one last time. I told them to go on without me. I'll catch up with them soon, after I double-check everything's in order. Can't believe my time here is over. What am I to do now? Perhaps I'll stay one last night so the hotel and I can have a proper goodbye. And he never left, because he died. Is this just a strawberry? Hang on. I'll show off what the B-sides are in a bit. Showing off the C-sides is going to be a little bit more involved. That was just a twitch. Of course, there's a mirror here. Here we are. Award-winning presidential suite. Pause. This is your presidential suite? It's like one room with one window, no bathroom. A four-post bed, I'll give you that. But like, one armoire, one table. This is it? This is all you've got? I know, it's decades old, but still. Come on. Truly, it's the very definition of rustic luxury. That's true, I don't know how white it is. I'll stand back till I get to soak in the majesty. I understand it can be a lot to handle. Okay, can I go? So, what do you think? It's beautiful. Furniture looks expensive. It's very spacious. Colors are elegant. I can tell you put a lot of work into it. I knew it'd impress you. Yeah. So, can I get on the roof from here? You imbecile, you're losing her. I almost forgot to mention, valued guests such as yourself stay in our finest accommodations at half price. I don't want to stay. Please, Miss Battle. Please stay. Mr. Oshiro, I've already been sidetracked too long. Madeline, sweetie. Forget this loser. Loser? You're in denial, old man. This resort is a dump. No one would ever want to stay here. Someone had to say it. She doesn't mean that. I'm very busy. Please leave, Miss Madeline. Come on, Miss Madeline. You heard the man. Where would you be without me? Would she say my beautiful hotel's a dump? I mean, it is. But, you know, it's been abandoned for a while. Alright, pause before we do the boss battle. Thank you, Ojunix, for the sub. Always. I've actually played this game before. Twice. So this is my third playthrough at the moment. And that should probably tell you something. I'll put that towards Persona 4 Golden, BBC Kakarot, and Grim Fandango. Thank you. Do I recommend it? Yes. This is a truly rare example of a punishing platformer that I recommend even if you don't like punishing platformers. I'll explain why if you want me to. They're really good cheats, too. They call them assist mode. Although we'd never get rid of him. Oh yeah, real quick though. I always put this proviso for anybody who I recommend playing this game. This game is pretty bad about triggering people who have severe anxiety or panic attacks, because it does a pretty good job of showcasing both. So, FYI. You owe me one. Add it to the list. Leave me alone. I thought you were so determined to keep climbing. Now all of a sudden you're some weirdo's therapist. Why won't you go away? Miss Madeline, before you go, I need to ask one question. Why would you be so nice to me only to run away? What did I do wrong? Oh, give it a break. You still don't get it? She only helps people defeat her twisted ego. She never cared about you. Shut up. I just wanted to help. You're both pathetic. Pathetic? You only came here to humiliate me. I won't grovel at your feet any longer. So, boss time. So there's your tutorial for how the boss battle works. Now, you probably didn't notice it there. I even did that on purpose. There's a little bit of leeway when he's charging you, where it slows down. Right there. Did you see it? Did you see it? It slows down just a little bit to give you a little bit of time to do that. And adjust right at the last second. Great design. Love that. Come on. Should have gone for it. Notice the dust bunnies are everywhere at this point. Oh yeah, the check bunny in this game is extremely good. I mean, it's literally per screen, with only a couple of exceptions. Still too slow. Come on, you're faster than this one. There we go. Most people call her Battling or Paramount, if that helps. Okay, that was a screw up. I thought I made it. Whoops. Oh yeah, the music doesn't reset each attempt, too. Yet another thing this game does right. Imagine if the music reset every death. Oh. You also notice he doesn't start spawning until you've actually entered the level, too. It's another thing. All the quality of life features in this game. Damn it, okay, I'm losing my touch. Hang on. I'm dying to stupid stuff, though. I'm just losing focus. No excuses. That should not have hit me. I disagree with that game. That's the first death I don't think was my fault. What I was about to say was you'll notice his attack rate has been increasing. So there's this thing I keep doing on accident, which has been screwing with my jumps. It is my fault, to be clear. There's a way to basically do a super jump. I forget what it's even called. There's an actual term for the move. And you're supposed to do it. In fact, you have to do it for a lot of the seaside stuff. And I keep doing it on accident and anticipating the jump is going to be, 15 meters, and instead it's like 20. That just killed me there. No, Triaxia. No, what I used to do when I was actually grinding out 100% of this game was I would just put it down for a while, because my hands would start to hurt after a while. So, Ross? Oh, should have stopped. I just wanted to help. I've decided to close the hotel for repairs. The second floor plumbing is leaking. The library is in complete disarray. Not to mention the hole in the ceiling of the presidential suite. Please just leave me alone. And that's level 3. I love how you can see his anxiety lint over there on the right. Just staring at him. Death count's going up a bit. So I promised I'd show off what B-side is. I am not doing these. I'm not committing to this. Okay? Let's just be clear about that. But this is B-side. Usually right before I fell asleep, Lunar Earth. This would be what I would play to help me unwind at the end of the night. This is B-side, in a nutshell. What you're seeing right here is what B-side expects of you. Not what I said to do, game. I used to do speedruns of Mega Man to help me chill. So I'm kind of a weirdo on that front. So yeah, this is B-side. And there's also a C-side, which is even worse. Now C-side's interesting. C-side is just one screen. But that one screen is hell. Here. Just to show this off properly. Let's turn. So this is what I was talking about for Ojunix. Hey, look. I'm just invincible now. I just don't have damaging collision now. See? I can also make it so I have infinite stamina. I can also slow the game down. Be able to practice jumps like this. Whee. But if you're invincible, how do pits act? Well, pits bounce you like this. Which is kind of funny. Just do this. You're probably getting at least a little bit of an idea of how absolutely insane these stages are. So, for example, this one you're supposed to be like, oh, hang on. Up and over. Oh, I already screwed that up. Hang on. Reset. Get the dash back. And then make that last jump, and then have fun. I actually don't know, did he? Oh yeah, C-side is absolutely stupid. So did you see this? It jumps me up into a death area. The only safe spot is this wall over here. See how B-side is decently long, though. Honestly, if I'm being real, I found the B-sides worse than the C-sides. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the same style of checkpointing. It's per screen. But as you can see, screens can be long. Like, look at this screen right here. And then look at this nonsense. That's all one screen. This is all one screen. That doesn't surprise me. There's not really a huge amount of demand for that kind of a run. So those are just absolutely insane. This is straight out of Mario Maker right here. That kind of a platforming thing. Whoops. Yes, so I should define 100%ing. Get all strawberries, obvious. Do all B-sides, do all C-sides. Do the world heart thing. Crystal heart, whatever it's called. And of course got the golden strawberry. I should mention I did that before the DLC even existed. Farewell, or whatever it's called. I should know how to do this part. So I've never done that, and I probably never will. Hi, Donovan. Always appreciate you. I'll put that towards dealer's choice. Also, I really like this music, but it is a little loud. So then there's this screen. Reminder, you screw up at any point in this screen, you start over. So... Heck yeah, you don't get fed for an hour. In fact, you conveniently keep forgetting. See, if it's not obvious, what B-side is literally a hard mode variant of A-side. So same general concepts, same general themes, same general platforming, same mechanics, much harder mix. I don't remember if there's anything you get for doing B-sides, like story-wise or anything like that. Or like an unlock or anything. I really don't remember. I like that. Yes, that's my arm. And crystal heart. Oh, I agree. I never did that on the Steam version. So I just got an achievement for it. That is as good a time as any to talk about the cheats, the built-in cheats, the assist mode. The assist mode in this game is really freaking good. And I mean that. To help emphasize that. What? Maybe keep clawing at my chair. Let's look at these for a second. First of all, you could change them on the fly. As you know, that's pretty much automatically a plus. Just being able to change the difficulty options on the fly is great. But what really makes this so awesome is how granular it is. So you can change the game speed from 100 to 98, 70, down to 50, half speed. You can give yourself infinite stamina, which just allows you to climb forever. You have air dashes, which you can change to 2 air dashes at the start, or infinite air dashes, which looks like this. You're just kind of a weird Superman at this point. Dash assist. I actually don't know what dash assist is. Oh, that's weird. So this is me holding down the dash button. And it's just frozen here until I decide which direction I want to dash in. That's why I don't think that option existed when I was playing this game. That feels new. Look at that. Is what everyone tells me. No, it was always there. I remember this. It's wild. And then, of course, invincibility, which I already showed you how invincibility works. Thank you. Ooh, warmer than I thought. Okay, we're going to put this here. That's a good question, Lord Hermit. All right, Cat, I need you to not eat this delicious food I'm putting right in front of you, okay? Can you do that for me? I know it's hard, because you're a cat. Here, I'll move you a bit further away. There. Um, these are well-designed cheats. They're granular cheats. They can be toggled off and on at will. Literally, just hit the pause button. And they're very well designed for a platformer, for a game like this. And there's lots of different ways you can do this to benefit whatever your playstyle is. Because obviously, this is to make the game easier. But maybe there's something, maybe you have difficulties with the timing. Maybe you don't have the reflexes in general, or that you used to. Maybe you just like exploring. Maybe you want to really experiment with the dash concept. Maybe you like the idea of being able to very carefully plan out your moves. All of those are options which can individually be toggled. You can have 1 or 3 or 8 or 15 of these. I guess there's only 5. These are really, really, really good difficulty options. I have actually used this as the golden standard of how to do difficulty in games for a long time. And it's not just because the game is properly hard, which it is, but it's also because of these things right here. Because what this does right here is it means I can reach out to basically anyone and say, I recommend this game. Because even if you are having issues with what is a fairly difficult punishing platformer, you can just get rid of whatever problems you're having with it at no detriment. There is no negative for doing this. The only thing that matters is your personal enjoyment. I played through all this game and grinded my face on it and beat the B-sides and beat the C-sides and got the freaking golden strawberry because I freaking wanted to. There's no benefit for that, right? There's no brownie points. I don't get a medal for doing that. I just enjoyed it. And in my opinion, that is really what difficulty options should be. Is something to add to the ability to granularize. I hate to keep using that word. To make a more gradient enjoyability. That sounds like a terrible... I'm using too many words. To give a gradient and how to make the game more enjoyable for more people. Boom. There. Too many words. Okay, so... let's go ahead and... save and quit here. That's actually a very small amount of deaths, really. That's funny. So there's also this. I actually meant to show this off earlier. Sorry, this is functionally, in terms of game design, what this is this is a map. That doesn't really show much, but if you go here, then you see nothing. But if you go here... Okay, hang on. I'm stupid. Longer than it took me this time, believe it or not. So, start, crossing, chasm. Each chapter, each level is baked off into different segments, right? And each segment shows you a screenshot of where it is and what you're looking at, as well as how many strawberries you've gotten here, and we can see in the third section is where the B-side tape is. Right there, see it? So the map select, for lack of a better way to call that, is really good. I don't want to over-exaggerate, but it's damn good. Yeah, let's put it here. No, Cat. No. No. He was just staring at the food. I didn't even have to flick his forehead. I just moved my arm and he was like, "No, I'm sorry." I have never touched you in any way that doesn't involve scritching. Why are you always so... I've always wondered why he's so skittish. He's not my cat. He's my niece's cat. But, like, she's been good to him. So, like, why is he skittish? Why are cats skittish? You've never had any issues ever. No one has ever abused you or hurt you. Why are you skittish? So, Golden Ridge. So now, I would say this is probably the first stage that is legitimately starting to be hard. I realize how strange that is, given how many times I've died so far, but no, I mean that. So, new mechanic. Notice how it tutorializes it again. what not much tells you... Oh, I was trying to show that off there. I failed at it. Is you actually have control over where those orbs go, as I just demonstrated. There's usually a default direction, too, though. Oops. Shoot. And then I die. I should probably cut off soon. My hand is starting to get a little sore. We'll see how far we get into this. Originally, there was going to be a whole underwater level. Oh, great. It's you again. Well, well, I didn't expect to see you up here. I'm glad you're still in one piece. I see you made it through the hotel. Did you meet Mr. Oshiro? Oh, I met him, alright. He chased me out of there after I cleaned up a bunch of junk for him. Oh, that sounds like a fun morning. Oshiro's a lost soul. That place is much more than just a hotel to him. Don't make him your project. You know what I think? I think this mountain drove both of you crazy. You know, you're not the first person to say that. Maybe you're right. How would I know if I were crazy? Good point. The way I see it, the mountain can't bring out anything that isn't already in you. There's gotta be a few crows short of a murder to live up here in the first place, right? What are you even talking about? Oh, I'm just rambling like the old bat that I am. You ready to give up? I know a shortcut back to your car. Back off, lady. I'm heading for the summit. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between stubbornness and determination, isn't it? You remind me of myself when I was young. Good luck. Mind the wind. Yeah, and there's our tutorialization for the wind. It is exactly what it looks like. It's Ninja Gaiden 1 all over again. So the wind acts as a modifier to basically every jump in the game. Yeah, I didn't make that. Because a lot of these jumps I can make effortlessly if the wind wasn't there. You'll notice this nice big open area too. It's only really dangerous specifically because of the wind. I don't think so, Federation Builder. Don't quote me on that, though. I guess we can find out. Doesn't look like it. Cat, do you have to do that right now? Is this required of you? So, now we have the wind in our favor, which means, once again, big butter jumps. And I thought I failed. Otherwise, easy jumps suddenly become much harder. No. So, the crystal spikes serves basically the exact same purpose that the dust did earlier that I mentioned. Die a lot trying to keep my dinner from being eaten by a cat. I can just tell the future right now. That's a good question. So in the old review system, this game actually did not get any negatives at all. I'm not sure about the new system. Honestly, I struggle to think of a negative to this game on either axis. I do like the preview concept. It's here's what's coming up, so you can plan out your moves. Too slow. Yeah, no. I can see a little walkthrough-itis on the crystal hearts. God damn it. Cat. Okay, tell you what. I will feed you early. Just so you stop eyeballing my dinner. How does that sound? How does that sound? Here. That's it. Cat. How do people live with cats? I do not understand. I mean, that's dangerous ground, Java. The moment anything is considered optional is being immune to pluses or negatives. That gets into the what is mandatory argument. I hate the what is mandatory argument. Notice how the level design is a little bit more freeform here, too. Which makes sense. Whoops. Almost made that work. Strawberries more. Notice you have a second of leeway before it breaks, too. That would be nice, Cardboard Golem. Whoops. Yeah, notice the serenity of this peak kind of area, which is good, because it'll be in total contrast to the next area, which is... oof, a little different. A little less serene is what I would call that. I think it's just icicle spikes. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know. just fed you. Piss off. I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood today, cat. Yeah, you. Thank you. Okay, oh, duh, I'm so stupid. You can have as much fun with it as you want, Minerva. I mean, you already put up with the actual worst part of the game. Like, you're over the hump, so you can do whatever you want to. Oh, absolutely, Minerva. I mean, vanilla's the worst, but, you know, what can you do? Down, 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 down. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to have happen. Whee! I mean, it'd probably kill them instantly, Zacta, but other than that, not much. Well, it's got a giant death cannon from space. It's probably a good place to start. Oof. Interesting little tidbit. The previous level was all about restricting where you can maneuver. This level is all about restricting how you can maneuver. Forcing you to deal with less of a, for lack of a better way to put it, kit than you're normally used to at this point. Because by this point you're well into the game, and you're used to using everything, and now it's like, your jump angle is completely changed, and there's a lot less safe spaces to navigate with. Cat, I implore you, stop. Please. No, I don't want to make the cat afraid of me. It's probably just weirded out that I'm not eating. The concept of doing something before eating is probably alien to a cat. I don't mean that as some kind of dig. I mean, like, he's an animal. Animals aren't known for their intellect. Oh, oh, told myself I wouldn't. Told myself I wouldn't. The loss of... I love it, Leonard Ruth. You should make a book about that. Oh, I remember this section. I remember this section. Yes, they do, Lord Hermit. In fact, actually quite a few things in the game, other than just the green diamonds. Refill your dash. Yeah, I remember this room. This is one of the few rooms I actually distinctly remember, probably because this room kinda sucks. I wonder if Madeline feels each of the... You know, like how in Super Meat Boy, spoilers, I guess, it's actually canon that all the deaths happen. Strange. That's what I meant to do. Work with me here. Oh yeah, my hands are a little sore. I'm 43. I do what I can, because I play video games for a living, but, you know. My hands are sore. Okay, next chapter. Or rather, the next section, whatever you want to call that. Was actually quite close, and then I failed. Oh my god. I didn't think I had that. So yeah, Wind 2. Fight. Jeez. Death. So, in case you missed it, what we have to do here is we have to go forward. Jeez, okay, so we have to dash forward. Dash. We have to successfully stay on the cloud during the hyperwind. And get down to the thing. So, dash, dash. That. And then that. Oh my god. That's what you have to do. Oh yeah, snowballs kill you instantly, by the way. They're bullet bills. In other words, they home in on wherever you are when they spawned. Notice a relatively chill room to introduce you to the concept of the bullet bills. Just barely. Dash jump a little more now, because is. Holy crap. Oh, come on! No, I was right there. I was right there. This is Linare's fault. She tried to kill me, and she succeeded. She was like, "You will watch Foundation." I'm like, "No, Linare, please, no, don't make me. You're just an AI." And she's like, "I'm not an AI. I'm an LLM, and there's a difference, by God." Okay, my timing is completely gone here. There we go. There. Yes, that's right. Now we have wind 3. That's mean. Yep. Notice the balls stop spawning when you get close to the edge of the screen, by the way, because, once again, good design. There's also ledges where you can, like, recover for a second. Better way to... all that. I knew I couldn't make that. No, I didn't mean it that way. I was just joking. Look, I'm literally Hitler. And you're secretly an LLM, because the internet has never lied about anything ever. And now the opposite problem. I can do that. Oh, come on, I'm right there. Okay, fine. I'll stop going for this stupid job. No, I didn't mean to go for the strawberry. I'm sorry, game. I'm sorry. Which game is that from, Lord Hermont? Sorry. Ah. I should stop trying to land into it. I would say there's 2 songs in this game that come close to that one, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Whoa! We all have this really bad habit, and I've never quite broken myself of it. You tend to squeeze the controller a little bit when you mean it. You know, when you're really trying. That's bad. It's bad for the controller, it's bad for your thumb, and it actually makes you perform worse. But it's just kind of logical, you know? Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. That's exactly it. I'm better about it than I used to be, but I do have to still mentally, like, separate myself from myself, notice that I'm doing it, and be like, hold on, I'm squeezing too hard. One time I was playing Mario Kart with my beloved sister, and I could hear the plastic creaking as she was clenching it so hard. As I says. Like, what? Oh, sorry. Because it's so instinctual, you don't really notice it, right? I made it. Okay. Panic attack and anxiety warning. Okay. If this is the scene I'm thinking it is, this is a wonderfully well done visual and audio representation of a panic attack. Okay? Madeline, wait up. And he's dead. Nailed it. Theo, are you alright? Oh, yeah. Just give me a sec. A gondola. I've always wanted to ride one of these. Looks pretty old, but maybe it still works. I don't see any other way to cross this chasm. Let's do it. How did you do all the jumping puzzles up here? This lever looks important. Easy every time. I was probably a gondola operator in a past life. You think this thing is safe? I'm sure it's fine. How'd it shake out with Oshiro? You were right. I shouldn't have tried to help him. I hate to say I told you so, but... Yeah. I should have listened to you. Ah, you didn't get hurt. That's what matters. The air is so thin up here. I can barely breathe. Okay, if we don't get a selfie on this thing, I'm gonna regret it. Can't even see the ground through the mist. How high up are we? Less panicking, more posing. What's that? Oh, looks like we're stalled out. This is really bad. Oh, maybe if I... Well, that's not good. Oh, this really isn't good. Madeline, you cool? Yeah, No, I'm not cool. I can't breathe. You're having a panic attack. Why would you think it's a good idea to ride this stupid thing? Come on, don't take this out on me. Stay with me here. My grandpa taught me a trick for this. Close your eyes. Picture a feather floating in front of you. You see it? Okay. Your breathing keeps that feather flowing. Breathe slow and steady, in and out. If it's not obvious, this is gameplay. I have to actually keep the feather in the box. Hang on, Dream Whisperer. Wait. Also a bit of Battleland's theme in there. And a theme for a stage we'll be doing later. See? Easy every time. And in case you can't tell, her sprite was literally hyperventilating. Kind of still is, actually. Feeling any better? I think so. Thanks for helping me calm down. How'd you know we'd start moving again? Oh, I totally thought we were done for. Oh my god. Look at this selfie, though. if Theo's not a major character in this game, nobody is. I would say, actually, there's only really two, Theo and Battle. Chapter complete. Lot of deaths. And a thank you. Thank you, Dream Whisperer. As always, for being part of the show. Give me a second. I will jot that down. Boards. The 14 patch trail. Wow, midnight. And wow, patch within. Done. Assist skip? What's assist skip do? Oh, you literally just access the next chapter. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So we just kind of have chapter select, technically, by default, just from starting the game. What is next? The Mirror Temple. Well, as much as I'd love to hit that today, we should probably start the Mirror Temple tomorrow, fresh. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and hit up the Mirror Temple. I'm going to type up some thoughts and some notes. I hope you all have been enjoying. See you next time. I can finally get my food away from this cat.